Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to our Donkey Kong 64 commentary. Last time we finished up all we can of Fungi Forest. Well, actually, we literally just finished up the entire thing. We really have no reason to go back there. So, why don't we go take that key we yoinked from the dying Dragodon, and give Lumsy his one additional step towards freedom.
Yeah, I actually called him Calumpy.
Lumpy. I mean,
Lumpy.
he looked lumpy at the very least.
I feel like that has to be a Kremlin from some game, Caleb.
Oh,
No,
that
no,
feels
it's
so much better.
Oh, finally, my freaking jeez. Oh wait, hang on. Whoa.
Ooh. So yeah, from this point onward, the last two major areas of Donkey Kong 64 are open to us, and we can go into either which one in whatever order we really want to.
Huh? So they really do just unlock two worlds at the same time. Okay.
It's very much the same thing that happened with Frantic Factory and Gloomy Galleon before it.
Oh, don't.
And that being said, between the two, I will say, I'm gonna go ahead and go inside DK Isle's ear, because I'd say that's probably the easier of the two worlds to go through.
fair.
In massive fucking quotes there. I will definitely say, though, unfortunately, that Crystal Caves is unfortunately a very similar case to Gloomy Galleon in that this is a case where it's next to impossible to figure out how to do a one Kong route.
No, I mean that's that's pretty much it. I would argue it's still not as rough to go through as Gloomy Galleon. There's just gonna be, how to put it, it's not tedious for the mechanic, it's just tedious because, I mean, basically as he said, you wish there was some easier way to move about it all, but nah, no easy way about it. Just gotta roll up your sleeves, spit in your hands, and run for Senate.
Chunky... God, that's right. I think it was Hype. You were the one that enlightened us to that whole completionist clip from...
Right. Jungle
Yeah,
Beat.
basically, because it's like, I've been kind of like semi-binging some of his reviews lately, and since we were on a Donkey Kong kick, I was watching some of the DK ones, and then I got to Jungle Beat, and yeah, he pretty much kind of shares the same sentiments that you have, James, but then when it got to the point where he was talking about the game's lack of context for anything that happens,
Right,
so he
the
pretty
plot
much dreamt up his own context as to why DK is going about the way he's doing. And I just love the setup for that. It's like, here's what I think is the story of Jungle Beat. Cuts to black, cuts to DK in a suit. Donkey Kong is running for Senate.
And the whole thing is that you're trying to save all the monkeys, and that they're your voter base, and you're trying to win negotiations by beating the shit out of the other the other people, like all the various delegates, and
Yep.
But I agree with him in that it was. But I agree with him is that it was just the cold open of Donkey Kong is running for Senate.
Running for Senate.
That's
what
everyone's
and,
applauding.
and I love how he said that that's the reason why he has his trademark tie. It's because if you want to be presentable to the voters, you gotta dress presentable.
Dress the part.
And after that, and from that point onward, DK just liked the tie so much he kept it on for the rest of his career.
I'm gonna go protect my title. Oh, wow, nice.
And I like how his justification for the rest of his cabinet, Diddy is his vice president, Chunky is Secretary of Defense, and I forgot what he called. And I forgot what he called. I forgot what he called Funky. Was it his
human? It was human something.
Resources. Human resources.
Human resources.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very sociable, sociable, relatable fellow.
And not to mention the fact that he's the one Kong out of a lot of them that knows how to actually drive fucking vehicles.
Oh yeah, that is very important. Oh,
aside from go-karts, of course. That's literally something that any Kong worth their salt should learn when they are first born.
Yeah, whether it be Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing.
Or at the very least, how to ride a minecart blindly while screaming and clinging onto the rails for dear life. Everybody knows
but
that.
when it comes to plane riding, only rely on either Diddy or Funky.
Yeah. Also, I love that genuinely.
Thanks, Squawks.
Yeah, I love how I love that there are some. Oh wow! I love that there are sometimes the bananas there's no puzzle. It's just there you go, found it.
Yeah.
We really had no other place to put this, so here you go, on the house.
Just spits it out at you. But anyway, we're plenty loaded for that dude. B locker.
Yeah, and I'm just pondering there, should I really start this off as Diddy? I don't think he's really got anything to do at the start, and sad thing is my intuition was sort of correct, but I decided to go ahead and jump in anyway.
Again, there really is just that is, I guess, how to approach. Oh, hang on.
Oh, stubborn apes don't know when they're beat, but eventually they will have to admit defeat After they've tangled with my fiery little pet.
I'm surprised we're still keeping the Schwarzenegger dub.
About
Honestly,
that.
I'm just kind of like, I'm just doing it out of boredom at this point.
That's fair.
That's still you, and then
Ah, there you are. I trust the Kongs have been dealt with. Look at that little strut he's doing.
And then the turmoil.
Oh, it was all two nasty barrels at me to my face. Knocked me to lava. They done did it. Since both my wings. Then he got really big and punched me. You never told me I was gonna get punched.
I mean, look at my nose! Ow!
And then he got steam pressed.
yeah, I almost I thought there was gonna be a reaction shot of K. Rool being like,
I'm not
know-
mad. Actually, I am. Die.
Oh, I was gonna do the whole K. Rool of. Okay, breathe, suck it down.
Honestly, you say that, my mind suddenly went to freaking Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, where Castle's all, so what's my name?
Balls.
Oh, I know! Let him answer!
Forgot about
Just
that.
that whole scene in general. Then just leading up to him just slapping the living shit out of his book.
How can it be?
Every time.
He's
Anyway,
just a little orange rat.
Rat! So yeah,
good stuff.
I believe it's here in Crystal Caves where we got a few new toys to play with, assuming we find Cranky.
Yep.
And I will say right off the bat, this is probably one of my favorite songs in the soundtrack.
oh, it's super like this. This is like I guess the best way I could describe it is that I want to say this plus a little bit of the environment when you're just around the hub. This is probably the closest that Grant Kirkhope gets to like that soft like chillness that David Wise's music does.
Honestly, yeah, it does kind of feel like a nice little mesh between the atmospheric pieces of Wise's and the more jovial bounce of Kirkhope stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and as you just saw there in that room alone, yeah, there's a lot of different little ties in this on this world, and we just kind of have to.
Oh God, that music just reminded me. This is probably the most obnoxious gimmick this world has to offer. There's a giant one of these club minion thingies, I forget their names, that's literally hanging up like way high up. We can't reach him just yet, but sometimes he'll go on a fucking rampage and start banging on the ceiling so hard that stalactites start falling down.
And that'll just happen periodically.
Yeah, very periodically.
Goodness.
Until we find the means to actually reach him and kill him, that's not something we're gonna have to stick with for the next 10-20 minutes.
We'll be fine. But it's a decent little transition. Yeah. Meanwhile, we got Snide, we got more balloons. Where the hell is it?
Balloon? Oh,
Balloon.
there balloon is!
Get it! Got it. Nice. Okay.
Chunky, always good shot.
Kremlin Club enemy. They are... No, that's not it. When you don't include Donkey Kong in this, I just get, like, stuff of the Kremlin in Russia. That ain't it. Kremlin.
Crop the Russians. Hi-ho.
I mean, it is funny considering the fact that, the entire point of K. Rool's army, like, way back with the original Donkey Kong Country, is that they were supposed to resemble, like, a militaristic force. But then as the series went on, they kind of devolved more into, like, a straight-up...
Hoodlums.
Hoodlum slash...
Yeah, they're just your typical goons.
It'd be like... It's like if you took like, Team Rocket and then replaced them with Team Skull.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so let me look this up. Donkey Kong Country 2 enemies. That's where I first remember seeing these enemies.
Also, I will say for those that are curious, you should look up try looking up the original concept art for the Kremlings for the original Donkey Kong Country, because some of them are pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, like,
especially with King K. Rool, who originally I think was just named Captain Crud.
Yeah, like Crud. Like I remember that. Like I remember he had like a much more, well, keep this with a grain of salt, realistic design, and that like his head looked a lot more like a real life alligator.
Okay, so the only thing I could really find is I remember that they were called I remember that the enemies were called cutlasses, but they wielded cutlasses, not big sticks. So I guess these are just okay, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna just look up DK64 and I'll just look at what they're officially called.
I was gonna say just look up the Mario wiki. They'll probably have a little whole bestiary for you to find. But so now we just unlocked Lanky's. I forget the name of it exactly, but basically when you enter his barrel, he goes into his handstand. Literally makes him go supersonic speeds.
Right. So we need that. And meanwhile, this is the most. I don't get this. I do not understand how this power
This is literally
works.
it's just another variant of the teleport. Only it's very much exclusive to Tiny and Tiny only.
Right, just go to a pad. But I guess in the sense of I remember now. I remember what I was trying to say. In terms of power ups, it's the most like unfantastical. Like it's just okay. You moved. Anyway, what does Chunky get?
Chunky literally gets invisible ink.
Oh, wow! The last
Use
thing
it as often as possible because you're ugly.
Just remember now, Chunky, it stains clothes.
Then we don't have to look at you. Oh my gosh, he outright said.
Yeah, no,
Cranky's
SAS game is literally it hasn't skipped a beat since its inception.
I need to look up. I need to look up the manual to DK64 now. But anyway, okay. So first off, those enemies are called Koshas. Because in Britain, the word Kosh, C-O-S-H, refers to a how.
Chunky completely invisible now.
Chunky cannot see. They no see Chunky because Chunky no see them. Chunky, you're just wearing a blindfold.
Oh.
Oh. Anyway. Oh no. This looks like a good.
Oh, this is like a good perfect time to inflate like a balloon.
Oh,
See, that was the worst. You just
man,
presented
right
yourself.
there.
Ow. Just wait for the music to get peaceful. Okay, we're good.
Okay, coast is clear now. Go, tromboner, go!
But yeah, so the Koshas are the Koshas are voiced by Mildred Sturgeon, who voiced Army-Dillo.
Huh.
And
Okay.
and several of the Koshas' voice clips were used in future games. Anyway,
whichever ones those are, I'm honestly not. I mean, granted,
no idea.
Probably I'd had to assume probably the GB ports.
But I am looking up the DK64 manual because I remember in the day they had. Let me see. Oh, okay. So right off the bat, I'm gonna read some of these little bits from the DK64 manual because true to form, they had Cranky going nuts and sassing on the developers at any opportunity they could.
Like, didn't they do that? Didn't they have Cranky do that in all the manuals for the Rare games?
Oh,
I
pretty
believe
much.
so.
It seemed like it was like, if not the first one, then I definitely think they did it by the second and third, given how like they established his personality in those interactions in one. But so right off the bat, when it gets to the story, he says,
So let's see what nonsense they made up for this game, shall we? Well, I have to hand it to them. This time they managed to come up with a decent storyline that doesn't involve the usual golden bananas. Only joking, kids. This one's worse than all the previous efforts put together. I know you probably aren't expecting a bestseller, but wait till you hear this load of rubbish, and then that's when the story cues
You
in.
know what? It really does make me wonder, like, and, I feel bad for forgetting his name, but I think you were the one that brought up his,
"Oh,
I'm a bad coconut gun.
Yeah. It's like, you probably... Well, I'm trying to think, because I think you were the one that showed us his, like, big nuts and bolts retrospective, where he was trying to, like, be really level-headed about the game, and it's actually a really, like, fascinating retrospective. I really like it. At one point, he was talking about how, like, people were, like, really pissy about how Log just kept dissing Banjo, and he brought up the point of, like, this isn't really anything new. Like, have you seen what Cranky does in the DKC games?
I mean, yeah, it does kind of feel like the same thing.
let's see." So I know that was one big thing, and I'm trying to see if there's anything else.
Then again, in Cranky's case, I think he got away with it just because it's kind of like the inverse of what Log does.
But at the very least, like Cranky Kong, his whole character is he's meant to be like an exaggerated personification of the "get off my lawn" and like just does not care for the younger generation in the slightest.
Real
That's
quick,
the whole thing.
Panoots, that's the name I was thinking of.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, and at one point when they start talking about all the when they start talking about
Don't worry, he'll be all right.
When they start talking about all the levels in the game, Cranky's like,
Now, where do they put that level I designed? It was called Great Girder Grapple, as I remember. I must have spent at least 3 minutes working on it. I even drew them a fancy little picture. It must have been too good for them. Kids would have refused to play their fancy 3D levels once they got a taste of my 2D girder. Oh, it was just he just made the original Donkey Kong level.
I mean, you don't never diss the classics, I guess.
Oh, and actually, alright, at the very last bit, he says, "Don't give up hope, though. They might have hidden it somewhere like a priceless gem, hoping that no one will ever find it." So Cranky Kong's to blame for that dang frantic factory lever nonsense.
Oh, that. Ugh.
And then at the very end of the manual, there is a section for Cranky's tips. So, actually, I guess James could also show off the other reason why Chunky would want to turn invisible.
Or straight up.
Oh, big.
Honky.
Oh no, this is the exact opposite of being subtle.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm missing a step. Though for some reason that little honky chunk, warped my hitbox something fierce, and I was able to collect at least a few of those green bananas.
It must have been when the squash and stretch was happening to your animation. Nice.
Chunky astonished by perversion of law of physics.
Chunky going to start yoga class now.
Anyway, so
Chunky not very good at it. Me not very flexible.
Okay, nice.
And that's when he hired the tromboner to help him.
Yeah. Anyway, so when you get to Cranky's tips at the very end of the manual, it says these are his tips.
Tough luck, kid. I've been told to keep my mouth shut as they want to keep all the good stuff for our money-making strategy guide. I'm sure some people will appear on that newfangled internet thing as well, so I suggest you take a look-see there. You can also ask your friends, assuming, of course, you've got any. If all else fails, you'll just have to play better.
I mean, more or less sums it up. Oh, great, not this again.
Oh, again. And this time...
Alright, boys, time to put on the slow-mo.
Because you know what's gonna happen now. There's Diddy going...
Exactly, it's like...
It's a living.
Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me!
No, even when it's slow mo, it's still not enough time.
You literally gotta be fucking pixel perfect.
Goodness.
Well, you got it at least.
And DK's face right there just sums up mine during those sequences.
I guess so. Nice. Well,
I think that's the last time we'll have to deal with that minigame, though, so rejoice.
Awesome, and we unlock that little bit for Chunky Kong to use later. So far... Oh, we don't have it.
Not yet.
Well, let's go find it then.
Yeah, let's take a dip. And I realized I will say, during the editing process, I realized I probably should have done this later, because there's still some unfinished business I have elsewhere. But for now, I'll just go ahead and, hang around this igloo.
Right off the bat, there's the... But no, that's fine, because now there's the other teleport point for Chunky, so we can send him off on his adventure. Go get him, Chunky, Secretary of the Interior.
The Secretary of the Defense, you cultured... Not cultured, just you bit.
You're about to give me a compliment.
And I think I've already brought this up before. Maybe I didn't. We do this on a very sporadic basis, but I still always love whenever I swap to Chunky, and like the moment he goes, "Oh," that's when I select him.
Yeah.
Oh, like you always do that right there and there.
You caught Chunky in the middle of shower. How could you?
You just next time you go into the barrel and you swap to him, he just has a towel on.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 2 towels. One for around his waist, and then one on top of his head.
Now that I stop and think about it, I know it would probably have meant... Oh, come on. Don't screw with me now. Because, those blueprints can also fade out.
No!
Now, when that happens, thankfully, I guess that's point 1 to arcade game design. Okay, maybe not so much arcade, but... Well, over time, the Kasplat will respawn. He should still have his green hair and everything.
Chunky's like, Chunky feel... Oh! I was about to be like, Chunky feel like something wrong. Chunky feel... concerned. Oh, not again. Just inches from his face.
And I'm sorry. I do need to bring this up right now, because it's actually been lingering. It's been lingering rent-free in my head for the past while now.
Go for it.
Chunky playing his triangle like that is literally his equivalent to Kenshiro's "You're already dead."
Oh my god! And then
can't you say that about any of the Kongs after?
Yes, but now but now I'm just imagining Kenshiro playing a little teeny triangle. Like he just goes into a big battle and then just reaches into his vest pocket and brings it up, and everyone's like, "No." And then he just starts raising a teeny little metal pin to just start playing it, and then I don't know. All right, look at this game. They brought
you remember that one Pogo minigame from Crash Bash?
Who does it? I never played.
Actually, maybe it's not even so much like that, but like you'll see what I mean.
Hey, Likey! It's
Okay.
not much fun being stuck in this pokey igloo, so I've made up a game to pass the time.
What are you?
If I don't play soon, I'll die of boredom. How about it, buddy?
Stew.
Yeah,
What is this
I'm
thing? Is
with
that like
you.
a-
I don't know what.
The blue pumpkin or?
I think it's an icy tomato. The spirit of an icy tomato.
Oh, you're right. It's those scary tomatoes from the previous state. That explains it.
This one's technically friendly, even though he's still whenever he bashes on the square, it's always Kurul. But basically, just make sure there's more DK spots than there are Kuruls, and you'll win.
Right. By the time runs out.
And of course, if you want to play this game the right way, always bash on the ones that he's oops.
That he's already done.
I-
Right. Like, don't waste your time flipping old ones. Like, yeah, just wait for him to do all that work for you, and then you can just steal the loot for yourself.
Yeah, but now it's already a tight game considering I messed up the one time.
There really is no, like, trick to do this faster, is there? It's just...
Not really, just it's literally monkey see, monkey do.
Alright.
Make sure monkey don't make fool of you.
We got this.
Exactly.
There are... Let me count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's kind of a shame that you can't just like make new. Oh wait,
There you go. Oh, yeah, no, you got this now.
And winner.
there you go.
You
Also, I
were
love this. Even though I won, he is all like,
Oh no! It took me days to think of that game and you beat me. You're not my friend anymore.
What?
Take your winnings and leave me alone.
Well, screw you too, I suppose. Oh, well.
yeah, what a sore fucking loser.
Woo! We did it. Well,
Honestly,
take care.
I'm kind of grateful that he just tells us to go futz right off after all that's said and done. Like, it would have been kind of a crying shame if he up and brought out the fucking crosshair and was all, get out.
You better run. No,
Though, that being said, though, keep that thought in mind, because probably either next part or the part after, we might be hearing that lovable chap again.
Oh no. Also, I almost thought you're about to leave and be like, "All right, that's it. I'm robbing you now."
Also, the music playing at that exact moment is honestly the most appropriate fucking thing ever, and you'll see why in the next part.
What hell have we wrought? See ya.
Bye.